I'm CM Coleman. Welcome to my neighborhood. Are you costing your neighbors money? Here's a big question to ask yourself. We've been talking about having all sorts of potlucks and parties and those sort of things, but can your neighbors actually afford it? Don't go off the idea that you know how much money your neighbors have. Some people are living on tight budgets. Their fixed incomes are going to be very strict. When we have all of these get-togethers, potlucks and that sort of thing, themed parties, what's that doing to their budget? Are we going overboard with it? Because it is such an issue that you have to be compassionate about that. Having all sorts of potlucks and themed parties can just wreak havoc on those who have fixed incomes. You really could be costing your neighbors a lot more money than what you think about. So the next time you decide you want to have a get-together, some sort of party, try doing it where the neighbor doesn't have to do anything. All they need to do is just show up. It'll make their life a little easier and they won't have to be worried about, can I afford to do this? Now some of you are saying, well, if it's a potluck, they're cooking one big dish for a whole group of people. It's only one dish. Well, it doesn't really work that way. What actually happens when you're cooking food for a potluck is the money that you would spend, it would be like for 8 people. Let's say you cooked for 8 people. That would be 8 servings for a single person. That's over a week. Yeah, a week's worth of money, a week's worth of food just went into one day, and you don't have anything left to show for it. That's why I tell you, be careful about how much it's going to cost your neighbors with all the activities that you have planned. It's better to go for a smaller activity that costs your neighbors nothing, and they don't have to worry about coming up with the extra funds, or even worse, coming up with an idea for a costume for certain events. Although it's not saying you shouldn't have the events, it's just take into consideration all the different factors. If you're having a costume party, let it just be a costume party. Let them come up with any kind of costume that they want. That's sort of fun. If you're doing a trick-or-treat kind of thing, well then have them come to you and you give them out candies, hors d'oeuvres, whatever you want, but so that it doesn't cost them anything. Have you ever thought about this? If you haven't, let me know down in the comments. If this is your first time here, remember to subscribe. Every Monday I talk about my neighbors and my neighborhood and how you can become a more friendly neighbor. And I hope I get to see you again next time.